Hey everybody, what's going on? Kyle here with another lesson, and today we're going to be doing Everglow. I've been getting requests for this one for quite some time now, so finally happy to be able to bring to you a proper way to play it. I've seen a lot of different tutorials, covers on YouTube, and they all sound really good, but I think this one is the most accurate. And I definitely have to thank Fexxi once again. He made a tutorial for this on his channel. I'll link that in the description below. Please check that out as well. Did a fantastic job with transcribing it. I did it all by ear, and it sounds really, really accurate. So big thank you to him, really appreciate it. So once again, I'm teaching the same thing he did. I'm just kind of breaking it down and doing it in my style. So before we begin, I'm going to play a few guys, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So for the first part, we're just going to focus on the intro right there, and then we'll worry about the verse and everything else later. Song is pretty repetitive when you actually look at all the different things that happen in it, but there's different things that are a little bit challenging. For me personally, this was a little bit tricky to learn, not too bad. I will say the right hand does most of the work, while the left hand is just basic chords. So first we'll focus on the chords, and then we'll put the right hand in, and then put them both together. So first chord for left hand is going to be C sharp octaves with a G sharp in the middle. Then you're going to move down and play A octaves with an E in the middle. And right here, you're going to switch it up. You're going to come up here and play E, A, B. And then keep the high B right there. And you're going to move the other ones down to F sharp and G sharp. And those are the chords right there. So if you can get those memorized, practice those over and over until you get that, you'll be all set. There are a few notes here and there that you add in with your left hand, but basically that is the left hand throughout the entire song with some changes here and there. So now the melody for the main part on the right hand. Focus on that first, and then we'll add the left hand in after. So we start off playing E, F sharp, and then E and G sharp. Then come up, play E octaves. Down to E flat. Now do an A chord, E, A, C sharp, and then E and B. So from the beginning. Then repeat the same thing. But right here, instead of playing E octaves, you're going to play E and B. And do this little slide thing right here from E to F sharp to G sharp. And then end with E flat and F sharp. Now we add the left hand in. I apologize for my chair, it's really squeaky today. So, E, F sharp. And right there when you play E and G sharp, you have the left hand in. And right here when you play that A chord, transition down. And this is what I was talking about with the left hand. You're going to add a note in here. So when you play the E and B, in the right hand, you're going to add B in with your left. Look at that chord in your left hand. The good thing right there is when you're down here, your thumb's already in place. Just add the E and A in, and you're good. E and B, then do the slide, and then last chord, and that's that right there. Play it a little faster. Now we're going to repeat and do the same exact thing. To start off anyway. And right here, you're gonna play same thing. We're gonna add a high B in there. So E, G sharp, B. Then right hand alone, you're gonna play B and F sharp. Come down, play E with your thumb. Now when you hit that E, you're also gonna play B with your left hand. So. And then left hand the A, E, A, right hand C sharp, E. Right hand play B with your thumb. So you're gonna play B, A, get your thumbs here, B, A, then back to B with your right hand, but you're gonna add in E and B up here as well. I'll get this part right here next. Sorry about that. So what that is B and E with your right hand, and you're just gonna follow up to B and F sharp, B and G sharp. Left hand, you're gonna have E octaves, and then just follow up with F sharp and G sharp. And then end that same chord you did before with the F sharp, G sharp, B, left hand, and then right hand, E flat, F sharp. So playing the whole thing pretty slow, just so you guys can get a kind of grasp on it. Pretty much in two right here, there is another note you play in your right hand before you play it again. You're gonna play your thumb on the E flat. I apologize if I leave any notes out. It's kind of hard to remember when you're playing slow. Once you get used to doing it fast, you kind of forget. So once again. Thumb on the E flat, and then, sorry. Now you're going to repeat that same exact thing. Before you do that, you're going to play this little thing right here. Which I'll say too, for the live version, I think it's mostly, he plays, at least for this part, it's just B twice. Then down to G sharp, F sharp, E, and then he stops. But you notice in the studio version, and sometimes live, he'll go down more. So what I'll do is, he'll go down to E, go down to E flat, and then back up to E, and then back up to F sharp. So kind of play that however you want. I usually like to play the whole entire thing. But if you don't, you can just stop at the E. Notice too, once you start going back up to the F sharp, you'll notice that you're starting the melody all over again. So, and then just repeat what we've done so far. But right here, instead of playing this, you play something a little bit different. Which is this. So, right hand, you're doing B octaves with an E in the middle, and then moving that E up to F sharp. Left hand, you're going to do B and F sharp. And then keep the B and play E flat, move the F sharp up to a G sharp. So So B F flat, B F sharp, and then B E flat, G sharp. It sounds like this. You're playing that chord, second chord, after you play the F sharp in the right hand. So unless you to add an extra note in there on the F sharp before you transition. And then here we repeat the last part we just did. And that is that first part right there. That is the intro. And the verse is pretty similar, but we're going to save that for part 2. Real quick, I'm just going to go over the entire thing we just learned. I'm going to do it slow, and then I'm going to do it normal tempo. So starting from the very beginning. Sorry for the mistake in there. Once again, like I said, it's kind of, you start off playing it slow, you kind of get used to playing it slow, but then as soon as you speed the tempo up to learn it, normal tempo, it kind of messes with you to play it slow. So now I'm going to play it normal, just so you guys can hear it. Alright, so that's going to do it for part 1 of Everglow. Be sure to check out part 2. I will put the link to that as well as Fexxi's tutorial in the description below and at the end of this video. I definitely recommend checking out his tutorial as well, just because it's going to be easier for you just to kind of see it 2 different ways. I recommend also slowing his video down to about 50% or 75% or even 25%, whatever works for you, and just kind of watching it and playing along with it until you get it. Because from here on out, this part really lays the foundation for the rest of the song. The verse and chorus, there are some changes, but overall it's the same chord structure. It's very similar, so I definitely recommend getting this part down, or at least getting very comfortable with it until you move on. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you, Fexxi, for letting me teach a tutorial, and I will see you guys in part 2.